December 2019. I don't know exactly how far back robot characters in media have been around. I never looked into it. Maybe I should. I can think of the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz and Coraline, that stop motion movie, and Labyrinth are grouped together. I think also Where Back a Dinosaur's Story in some ways falls under category as Alice in Wonderland and Wizard of Oz and Coraline and Labyrinth as MK Ultra programming movies. Somebody else did a really interesting, brilliant breakdown of them. How it starts with the protagonist has a problem. They want to escape their reality. There's that escapism thing. There's like this real world setting and then this fantasy world setting, and there's like a meta story going along. Like it gets really weird. There's these layers to the story, like how the meta story, I guess you could call it, of the Lego movie is about a child playing with Legos, and whatever happens in his life influences how he plays with the Legos in their story. So that's an example of this, I suppose. And with the Wizard of Oz type stories, the main character has to go to a therapist or face something that they don't want to face, and then they get jolted into Fantasyland where they live in their dreams, basically. And there's a huge theme. You can see it in Peter Pan. I think the stage play of Peter Pan and the movies, what's traditional is the father character of Wendy in Peter Pan is the same character as Captain Hook. So Captain Hook and Wendy's father are two sides to the same coin. That happens a lot. And I think that in Wizard of Oz, the evil aunt and the Wicked Witch of the West are the same person. And how these MK Ultra stories end is the main character, the hero, thinks that they've won, they think they've triumphed, but at the very end, the image of their enemy is imposed, and what actually happened was the protagonist thought that they won, but the enemy actually won. Like in Labyrinth, at the end, there's that party where the main character thinks she won and she's having a party with her Muppet pals, and Jareth, who can assume the form of an owl, is watching her from the window. So Jareth is the one who won. At Coraline, I can't remember how it ended, but the screen pulls out and there's the image of the other mother, who visually looks like Coraline's mom, but other mother has buttons for eyes. So the image of other mother is in the landscape with the button eyes. Can't really remember how all these movies ended. I can't even remember exactly how Wizard of Oz ended, other than and you were there and you were there. Can't remember much else. Anyway, I think I was originally talking about robot characters in media, as in robotic people within the stories. Like in Fantasia, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. It depicts robots. The animate broomsticks are robots, but they're not characters, they're not people. Even though they have arms and legs, they're not people. But the Tin Man is a person, and there's a lot of stories, especially stories aimed at children, and the stories aimed at elementary school-aged children are the most interesting because that's where all the programming is and all of the that's a time period in a person's life, elementary school age, when they are going to remember things. I don't know if the toddlerhood mind wipe is normal. I know that it's standard, but I don't know if it's normal. I remember a few things from toddlerhood, a few people do, but we forget almost everything, and I don't know if it's supposed to be that way. But things from elementary school age, we remember them, we retain them very well. And things from our adult life and teen life, we might have been on autopilot so badly that we just never remembered things unless they were really important and worth remembering. Somebody suggested that the extreme popularity of robotic characters is some kind of normalization of animatronic people. I just described animatronic-looking students that I went to school with, and actually, I don't remember any adults that acted like animatronics. I'm only thinking of this now. I don't remember young children being animatronic or people over the age of 30 being animatronic, but I remember animatronic acting people between the ages of 16 to 24. I think the oldest animatronic person that I ever met was about 24, and it was a very weird-looking individual, probably inverted, had white googly eyes, and she/her pronouns, but I think it was actually a guy. Dude, not actually a biological female. And I remember the way she would move her mouth. It just wasn't right. She would, instead of talking like a normal person, she would chomp. The way her mouth moved didn't line up with the words coming out of it. It was really weird. Uncanny Valley people. I don't know what to think. I truly don't know, but you will often see references in media, usually presented as a joke or as a horror story element. The idea of clones being grown in vats, lab tubes, I don't know. The sci-fi tube of glowing yellow goo and wires, and there's like a clone being grown in it, You see that a lot. And a big joke is that, it's presented as a joke in media that celebrities, singers, dancers, entertainers are duplicated and grown in these giant vats, these big glass canisters. So who knows? They often misrepresent things and, I don't know, use stand-ins. I can't even describe right now. Maybe some other time, but maybe instead of the actual real-life robot people being metallic, they are flesh and blood or something resembling flesh and blood. I think that the robot characters in media symbolize these animatronic flesh people. I'm not sure, but you will have known them. They're really prevalent on the internet, their robotic behavior, and in real life they're not as prevalent because in real life most of these animatronic freaks stay hidden behind closed doors and they just post on their 10 million accounts on the internet and collect their shekels, but you don't see them in real life, so I'm not sure what to make of that. Actually, in retrospect, really ancient castrati also move like animatronics. I don't really know what's going on. It could be medication. I don't know.